Well, everyone wants to start their own business or company, or at least the majority of the people want to earn some money and they want to be financially stable and financially free. I'm currently 19 years old and I've got my own company, which is called Abutorab, and we're basically making over 5 figures every single year, Alhamdulillah. And hopefully in this video I'll explain how I basically started my company and earn a little bit of money here and there, while also being a full-time university student, while also going to the gym like 5-6 times a week and doing all sorts of other stuff, from like learning Arabic, my Islamic studies, and also having some free time left over after doing all of this sort of stuff. So that's pretty much it. Now, first things first, one of the most important things is that a lot of people actually tend to procrastinate when it comes to starting the business off. So for example, me, I actually started to tutor at the age of 16, waiting for my GCSE results and then tutoring students. But even then, I properly started my business around the age of 18. So it was like 2 years after I started to tutor. So a lot of people, what they do is that they start the company late, and that's not really a problem necessarily. Like for me, it worked out to be perfectly fine because I didn't really need a company, because I was getting customers anyway, because my social media used to have, like, since the age of 16 I had like 15 to 20k followers on Instagram, something around that time. So my exposure was actually pretty big anyway, so I didn't feel like they need to make a company. So a lot of people are also in this situation where they're basically kind of like procrastinating in making the company. And usually what I would say is that it's probably better to start now than later on, because if you're going to do something at one point in your life, you might as well start earlier, because technically it will give you an advantage if you have the company made before, because over time you learn so many things from experience, from customers, from all sorts of things. Like whatever field you're going into, is better to start now than later on. Now obviously investment and all of that stuff comes on, which I'm going to talk about hopefully later on in the video. But one thing I would say is that you don't always have to invest at first to start a company. You can just, like, literally at home, you can just make up the intention, and then you can literally start an Instagram page or like a Twitter page, like start the social media aspect of it first, of the company. Like think of a name, so that way you're already kind of like not procrastinating, so you're already like kind of setting the motion in place. And again, I mentioned all of that stuff in my ebooks, which will be down there in the description below, and you guys can check them out. But yeah, first things first, start the company and start the first things such as social media, name, and all of that stuff, things that don't actually require any investment at first. Now guys, another tip that I'm going to be giving you guys is the usual tip that you get where people say work hard. Now there's so many people who work hard, so many people who work smart, and you see these terminologies being like used here and there, but personally, I would say that it's important for you to have a balance between working hard and smart. In other words, so find a good idea, find ideas that perhaps is not on the market, or try to be unique, or just come up with any business idea, whatever it is, and then whatever suits you and your company and your business. And then also you have to put lots of hours of work in. So when you're putting work in, usually what I do is I would set a specific time every week or every day, or let's say every couple of days, where I would say, okay, so this day 1 hour is going to be on social media marketing, where I'm just spending time chatting to customers, talking about all of my students, summarizing this, summarizing that, making some extra notes so I can give them out for free to my students. I can do this, I can do that, make some posters on Canva or whatever, post something on Instagram, go on Twitter, follow some people there, follow some people here, unfollow some people there. Like literally I have this sort of scheme where I say, okay, this week I'm trying to reach this many customers, this many clients, this many students, and therefore this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm going to do. So you actually set up a proper planning where you say, okay, this many hours a week is marketing, this many hours is teaching, this many hours is this, and all sorts of stuff. And you need to make sure that it fits through your own timetable, so it's something that you can actually manage and keep consistent. So in my case, sometimes I work like 10, 11, 12, 13. The most I've done literally was like think like 14 hours, something like that, the most I've done in one day. And that's a lot of hours of tutoring and planning and organizing and teaching and answering lots of questions and all sorts of stuff. But it does come with a sacrifice that you need to make, especially at the early stages. When you're making your company, you need to make those sacrifices, and you have to put those hours in planning and buying or selling and making whatever you want to do. You have to put those hours in, and advertising yourself and all of that stuff. Put all of those hours in, and hopefully, inshallah, it will start to pay off as the company starts to get bigger. Now, into this day and age of social media, advertisement is like one of the most important things out there. And obviously, that's why I said previously that I do spend a specific time every week or every few days to make sure that my advertisement is on point. Like literally the last 4 to 5 weeks, I feel like my company, we've done like we've literally had 2,000 clients, students coming in. And one of the advertisement techniques that we used is that we actually gave out all of these ebooks. Like we've got 10 official big ebooks, like quality ebooks. And some of these ebooks, the information in these ebooks, some of them are probably worth like 100, 200, 300 pounds, like realistically speaking. And companies would be selling all of that information for a lot of money. But my company at Abu Educates, we've done it absolutely for free. And that's how in like literally 4 to 5 weeks, we got 2,000 students, like 2,000 students come to us asking for help, asking for the ebooks and all sorts of stuff, from like UCAS application, UCAT exam, BMAT exam, like medical school application. On top of that, even other stuff such as personal statement writing, work experience, all of that stuff. Currently we've sent like 7,000 ebooks, something around that number. Yes, that's how many we've sent for free. And obviously what happens is that that sort of technique not only is a benefit in people, and people are actually being really happy, and they're actually being literally helped so much for free, especially because students don't really have that much money, but it's also a very good marketing technique, because people come to your company and they honestly start to get to know you more and they trust you more. So that's another way to kind of make sure that your marketing is on point, by giving people free stuff, and that's how basically they get to know you. If you literally look at every single other company, when they begin, they start to usually give samples and all sorts of stuff for free, and the company does get bigger. But in general, it's a really nice act to give people things for free, especially things that are really going to benefit these people. So not only from a social media marketing perspective, but it's just a nice thing to do in general. But that's another way to advertise. And again, I said there were so many different ways to advertise: following people, unfollowing people, making lots and lots and lots of posters. Now, making posters and videos and reels and Instagrams and TikToks and all of that stuff is something that I've been doing. And also, you can literally find my company everywhere, like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. And the good thing about that is that gives you more exposure, because you're going to different social medias, and therefore there's going to be a slightly different audience coming to you. And that's also another marketing technique in general. Guys, the little things do matter. They're actually very important, at least in my personal opinion, guys. But anyway, in general, like a lot of people, they focus on the big things, which is important, but they neglect the small stuff from the company. For example, organization, making it easier for customers to find things. So for example, in our company, we have like hundreds of reviews, like hundreds, and it's good to make like Instagram highlights and everything, like keeping them all in order. And these are very small things to do. Like for example, on YouTube, if you guys look at every single YouTube video I've made, literally every single video has a very in detail description at the end of the video. And some people are like, description is not that important. What's more important is the video and the content in there. Yes, that is true, but the little things like description and title and small stuff like that sometimes actually does make a difference, because you're doing it consistently and all the time, and the small things will sometimes make your company go pretty big. So for example, one of the things that I do in general is I do spend time speaking to my clients, and I give my precious time to many of my students. And one of the reasons why I have over like 20 plus students every week that I tutor, and I'm able to earn the money that I do, is because of the fact that I actually do spend a lot of time on my students for free. So after tutoring for like 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hour slots, I would actually spend an extra 5, 10, 15 minutes, sometimes even 20 minutes if I'm feeling generous, absolutely for free. And every single one of my students know that, and that's why a lot of the times students are more likely to purchase stuff from me, ask me for help, open up to me and speak to me and all sorts of stuff. And students are actually staying for long term because of the fact that they know you more and you are spending the extra time with them. Now 5 minutes might not really be much of your day, but spending the extra 5 minutes with someone, those little things might make a difference to someone's life. And even, which is a very nice thing, but even then it's like from a social media marketing point and from a marketing point in general, business point, is actually doing you much more benefit to your company as well. Now, investments is probably one of the things that puts people off in the first place to actually start something. Now, I didn't really invest anything into my company. I'll explain in a bit. But the only thing I've really been investing in is cryptos and stuff like that. But you know, crypto's been going down, but let's not talk about that. But other than that, in general, like when it comes to my company, I didn't invest any actual money. What I did invest though was my time. So I've been tutoring, it's probably like the 50th time I'm mentioning it, since the age of 16, and now I'm 19. And yeah, so basically 3+ years of tutoring, and I have been pretty much an academically able person my whole life, since like primary, nursery, whatever you want to call it. But that is my investment, isn't it? So in general, you guys know, you probably all know my GCSE video that went pretty viral, and a lot of students, customers came from there as well. But in that GCSE video, which was a few years back, I got pretty much all A stars, and those all A stars, those grades, what it required was like time, discipline, all of that stuff from me. And that's one of the reasons why I have so many customers, because for example, in general, when you have customers, people want to know, is this person trustworthy, does he know how to teach, or is this a person that I can rely on and learn from, and all of that stuff. So my investment was all of that time and hard work that I put in, but I didn't actually have to put any sort of like monetary investment into my company, because everything that we're selling, like ebooks and all of that stuff, like personal statement reviews, all of that is basically online. So basically we didn't really have to invest anything in terms of money. But remember, time in general, you know what they say, time is money, whatever, yeah. But you know, it's again, it's a lot of time that I invested into it, and a lot of people do this as well. Like the example of a personal trainer or coach and stuff like that, you usually go to them and what they do is that obviously they take money from you, they charge you and whatever, but the investment they made, for example, in general, like a personal trainer, like an online personal trainer, is the time that they spend building up the muscles, learning this, learning that, doing this research. So a lot of jobs out there in general, there isn't much of an initial investment when it comes to like monetary stuff. So obviously if you're trying to sell some sort of product like that's not online, and like for example a physical copy of a book, or you're trying to sell a Rubik's Cube right there or something, then you obviously need to put the initial investment in, put some money in and stuff like that. But again, that pretty much does depend on your company, whereas in my case there was no actual investment like monetary really. It was more like start the social media, all of the advertisement stuff and all of that, and the investment was my own, like years and years of hard work. And you know, but alhamdulillah, I can't complain, you know, alhamdulillah, my health is there. A lot of the times, you know, we neglect the blessings in our lives, and you know, we just become greedy and we want this and we want that. So that's why I say, you know, sometimes you just gotta take some time off and relax and reflect about the blessings given to you by your Lord. And you know, that's literally about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, or most importantly, I hope you guys benefited from the video. If you need any ebooks, stuff like that from our company, links down in the description below. We've helped 2,000 plus students. It's like it sounds like I've been mentioning this like every single day, but you know what, alhamdulillah, it's a good achievement for me. And yeah, if you guys need need any other services, links down in the description below. If you guys want any of the free ebooks, any of that stuff, just message my company at Abu Educates on Instagram or Twitter, or message me on my own personal Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn or TikTok, or literally any social media really. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys benefited from the video. I'll see you in my next video. Take care. I've been really busy, that's why, you know, I had to be making videos quickly at home, so you know, it is what it is. But alhamdulillah, I'll see you in my next video. Take care, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.